Hello, everyone, and welcome to this quick little yoga flow for balance and stability. We're going to be really emphasizing pressing down through the four corners of our standing feet today. So, whenever you're ready, you can begin to wiggle it out a little bit, shake it out, get all the wiggles out, and we'll inhale, bringing the arms up to the sky. And we'll bring the palms of the hands towards the sky here, creating length through the spine, through the arms. Inhaling here. And then exhale, side body stretch, leaning to the right. Inhaling back through center. Exhaling, leaning towards the left now. Inhaling back towards center. From here, we're going to release the hands, bringing them interlaced behind the back. We're going to step the feet a little over hip width distance apart here. Inhaling here. And then exhale, folding forward, finding this heart opening, forward fold variation. Again, pressing down through those standing feet, opening up the heart. Releasing the hands here. We'll inhale, halfway lift. Heel toeing the feet back together. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll make our way to the tops of our mat if we weren't there already, keeping those hands heart center. We'll begin to shift the weight here onto the right foot, bringing the left knee into the chest, finding a little flamingo, and stepping that foot back into a warrior one, foot 45 degrees, bringing the arms up to the sky whenever you're ready, finding that nice strong foundation here. Squaring the hips to the front. Then we're going to come on to those back toes, coming into a crescent lunge here. Nice and strong, inhaling here. Exhale, warrior two. Back foot parallel to the back of the mat. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle, whichever version you prefer. Inhaling, coming into a reverse triangle, straighten out that front leg. And then exhale, triangle pose here. We'll hold here for a few breaths. So you can either bring your hand to the mat, your foot, your ankle, or you can use a block here, whichever works best for you. Really working on creating space in the hamstring. We'll bend that front knee, coming through our runner's lunge here, inhaling. And then on our exhale, we'll step that left foot up behind the right, coming through a pyramid pose. Taking your time here, finding that strong foundation. And you have the option here, you can either keep your hands on the mat or on a block, or you can bring your hands to your low back, adding an extra little bit of a balancing challenge here. Just doing whatever works best for you. If you had your hands on your back, we'll begin to bring them onto the mat, walking those fingers a few inches forward. We'll shift the weight onto that right foot, coming into a standing split here. And again, you can remain here, or you have the option to lift that left hand up to the sky, coming into a half moon pose. This is your practice, just doing whatever feels best for you today. Really pressing down through that standing foot, back through that standing split if you weren't there already. We'll bend that front knee, and we'll bring that left foot up to meet the right. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, rise, upward salute, arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Very nice. Taking a moment here, you can shake it off. Pressing down through those standing feet. And then we'll move to the other side, shifting the weight onto the left foot, this time bringing the right knee into the chest, flamingo pose, stepping that right foot back into our warrior one. Again, taking your time, finding that nice strong foundation for you here. And you can bring your arms up to the sky if and whenever you're ready. Nice and strong through those standing legs. We'll come up onto those right toes, coming through a crescent lunge here. Again, finding that nice strong foundation. Inhaling. Exhale, warrior two, back foot parallel to the back of the mat, arms into a letter T. Inhale, reverse warrior, finding that side body stretch. Exhale, side angle, whichever variation you prefer. Inhaling, coming backwards, reverse triangle, straightening that front leg. And then exhale, triangle pose. Again, holding here for a few breaths, finding the variation that works best for you today. Again, hand on a block, your ankle, your shin, or the mat. feeling that stretch through the hamstring. We'll bend that front knee, framing that front foot, coming through our runner's lunge, inhaling here. And then on our exhale, we'll step that right foot behind the left, coming through our pyramid pose. Finding your strong foundation here. And again, you can keep the fingers on the mat or hands interlaced behind the low back. Whichever one works best for you. Finding that optional balance here. Finding your stability, pressing down through those standing feet, walking those fingers a few inches forward, coming back with your fingers on the mat, and then we'll move into that standing split, lifting that right foot up off the mat here. And again, feel free, you can remain here, or if you'd like, you can lift that right hand up off the mat, coming into that half moon pose. Wherever you are, pressing down through the four corners of that standing foot, nice and strong here. Breathing deeply, one more breath. We'll bring our hands back down to the mat if they weren't there already. We'll bend that standing knee, bringing that right foot up to meet the left. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, upward salute. And then exhale, hands to heart. Very, very nice. Taking a moment here, shaking it off. Coming to the center of your mat here, or you can remain at the top, whichever works best for you. We'll come back into our mountain pose, hands to heart center whenever you're ready. And we'll begin to shift the weight onto the right foot, bringing just the left toes to the mat, the left foot to the side of the shin, or all the way up to the inner thigh here. Just finding wherever is most comfortable for you today. Just finding a classic tree pose here. Pressing down through the four corners of that standing foot, just like how we did in our standing split. You can bring your arms up to the sky here, testing that balance. One more breath. Now we'll bring our hands back to heart center. We're going to bring that knee so it's parallel to our standing leg, coming through that flamingo. Then on an exhale, we're going to step that foot back, coming into a balancing warrior three. So bringing that left leg parallel to the ground, to the mat. And you can keep your hands heart center, or you can release the hands behind you, or for an extra challenge, you can bring your hands out in front of you. Strong through that standing foot. And whenever you're ready, we'll shift forward, coming back through that flamingo pose. We'll reach our peace fingers for that big toe, coming into a nice little hand-toe stretch here. You can bring your hand onto your hip for a little bit of extra stability, and you have the option to open up your hip here if you're feeling nice and stable today. Finding that single pointed gaze on the floor, on the wall, wherever you are, just something unmoving. From here, we'll come through a flamingo back into our tree. Really pressing down here, really feeling that stability, that strength here. And then whenever you're ready, you can release, shake it off. Very, very nice. You can roll the ankles here, the wrists, whatever you need to do, getting yourself nice and reset for the other side. Forgiving yourself if you wobbled a bit or a lot. And we'll come back to our hands to heart center, shifting the weight now this time onto that left foot, coming into our tree pose, whichever variation you prefer. Avoiding any joints here, finding that stability, pressing down through the four corners of that standing foot. You can bring your arms up to the sky here, playing with your balance. One more breath. We'll bring those hands back down to heart center if they weren't there already. We'll bring that knee parallel to the standing leg. Inhaling here in our flamingo. And then on our exhale, stepping that right foot back so it's parallel to the mat, balancing warrior three. And again, you have the option, keeping those hands heart center. This is the most stable variation. You can bring your hands beside you, airplane arms, or you can bring them up front if you are wanting a challenge here today. Whatever you decide to do, again, really pressing down through that standing foot, strong through that standing leg. One more breath here. And then slowly bringing that knee back through, coming into our flamingo pose. Reaching those peace fingers for that big toe, bringing that hand to your hip here, straightening that leg, nice hand-toe stretch here. And again, just as before, finding that single pointed gaze, option to open the hip here if you would like. Feel free in this pose to use a wall if you need to, but wherever you are, pressing down through that standing foot. Coming back through that flamingo, coming back to that tree, whichever variation you prefer. Again, pressing down nice and strong. We're almost done here. Bringing those arms up to the sky if you'd like. Breathing deeply. Hands back to heart center. Release. Shake it off. Again, rolling the wrists, rolling the ankles, point flexing the toes. Whatever feels best here. Shaking it off. We'll inhale, bringing the arms up to the sky. Upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Taking this moment here to notice how you feel both in body and mind. And also to offer yourself some simple gratitude here for simply just being present here. Bringing the thumbs up to the third eye, the space between the eyebrows. Vowing to ourselves here to always be kind, both to others, but most importantly to ourselves. Thank you all for joining me for this quick little yoga flow for balance and stability. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I hope to see you on the mat again soon.